my name is Janelle, and I'm one of your camp leaders, and Gabby's just behind the scenes on the computer to answer all your questions and to talk to you in the chat. And so today, you're joining us in our fish pattern session, which is really, really exciting because we're going to both read a book and do a craft today, so lots and lots of stuff. So I see people saying hi, so hi William and Marissa. I see one of you went to the Bow River and went boating this weekend. Oh my goodness, that sounds like lots of fun. Okay, so what we're going to do today is we're going to start with our craft, and then we're going to start reading the book a little bit before we finish everything. And hi Vesper, I hope you're doing great. So before we start, we need to know a little bit about fish. Hi Ryan and Clara. So with that in mind, I'm sure all of you might have seen guppies, and these guppies you can buy at the pet store and have them as little pets. But this guppy is going to help us learn a little bit about what parts of the fish there are. And so we have the caudal fin, which is usually called the tail fin, just right here. We have the dorsal fin, or like a top fin. So it's something that you'll see at the top of the fish, but not every fish has this. We see the gill cover where they breathe, because fish live underwater unlike us and they need gills to breathe. They don't have a nose like we do. They obviously have a mouth, they have 2 eyes, and then the fins on their side, those are called pectoral fins. And then of course we have the pelvic fin. So these are all different fins that you'll see on the top, on the side, on the back of the fish. And of course they have eyes to see, gills to breathe, and a mouth to eat. So with that in mind, I'm just going to tell you all what you'll need for this little craft before we start. You'll need 1 to 2 paper plates depending on how many fish you want to make today. You'll need some colored construction paper so we can make colorful fish. You'll need tape or glue. I like to use tape because it's a little bit quicker and a little less messy. Markers and colored pencils, just so that we can color in the pattern. But if you wanted to use different colored construction paper, you can do that as well. And googly eyes are completely optional. They're a little funny to see in our fish, but we can also just color them in with our markers. So it's not a huge deal. So perfect, I see that. Hi Luna, hi Jax. I'm just gonna say to all that I see, just so that we're happy to know that you're here today. So I'm just gonna switch my screen so that you can all see what we're going to be making today. And in the meantime, if you've been here before, that's absolutely wonderful. You'll know what I'm about to do is I'm gonna put a poll question up. And this is something where you can select an option which is your favorite. But if you're viewing from the internet and you might not see this poll, you can go ahead and put your answer in the Q&A or the chat, and me and Gabby will still see all your answers. So this first poll, while I'm just setting up the camera, is going to ask, what is your favorite fish? Is it a clownfish, a goldfish, maybe a betta fish, or is it a fish that I haven't even named yet? What do you all think? There are lots and lots of fish out there, so I couldn't name all of them, but I'm hoping that I maybe put one that you really like, or you'll be able to tell us in the chat. So let's see. A lot of you are saying clownfish, and I'm wondering if some of you saw Finding Nemo or Finding Dory and like that movie. Goldfish. Ooh, I used to have lots of goldfish when I was younger, and I used to have betta fish too. And guppies. Guppies are really cute, and it's a funny name to say. So I'm glad to see that. So I'll give you all maybe 5 more seconds to answer if you would like to. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so it looks like goldfish won with 7 of you loving goldfish. Then it was clownfish and then guppies. Okay, so I see maybe some of you were Finding Nemo fans. Some of you maybe have a goldfish at home. I would love to know. But today, let me show you what craft we are making. So we are making something called a pattern fish, and we are going to make this colorful creature. Let me just make sure that our camera is how we want it. Perfect. And so we're going to make this colorful fish. It's kind of round. I know some of you might think it looks like a circle. I've heard others call it looks like a potato fish. So perhaps it's a potato fish, perhaps it's a plate fish. But either way, it's going to be very round. So we're gonna start off with this craft. And so I'm just gonna put up another quick poll just to see if everyone is ready to start. And go ahead and answer that or put it in the chat. If you need another 30 seconds, that is okay. We're gonna make sure that we all start at the same time today. So in the meantime, I'm just gonna make sure that you have everything you need. I have my paper plate to start with. I have my box full of markers and colored pencils, and of course scissors. And I am going to be using tape today to stick on my fins, and eventually we'll color after we read our book. So for those of you that need another 30 seconds, that's okay. I'm just gonna end this poll. And for all of you that have all your stuff, that is perfect. You are right on top of things. And you're more organized than me, oh my goodness. So I have a question for all of you, just while we're waiting for everyone else. Can you guess what Gabby's favorite ocean animal is? Do you think it's an octopus? Do you think it's a dolphin? Or do you think it's a shark? I'm just gonna give you all another, let's say 10 seconds to answer. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so it looks like the poll is done. Gabby, would you be able to tell everybody what your favorite ocean animal is?
It's the dolphin.
It's a dolphin. So 12 of you that guessed dolphin, congrats. Ding, ding, ding. You guessed right. For those of you that thought octopus, that is completely okay because octopus are very, very cool. And they can even sometimes twist themselves out of a jar, which is very, very interesting. So hopefully I've given those of you that needed a little bit more time to get your supplies enough time. And so I'm just going to show you all how to start this lovely craft to make your own little round pattern fish. So we're going to start with our paper plate. And so I'm not going to use it. I'm not going to use the side that you usually eat on because this one's going to be too hard to color. There's going to be patterns already on mine that I don't really want. So I'm going to use the opposite side. So where the plate comes out of the paper and towards you, kind of like a bubble. And so the next question is you're going to need some construction paper. And we're going to start with the tail fin. So this one right here, or the caudal fin. And I have a question for all of you, because you're going to help me make my pattern fish while you make yours at home. What color should I make the tail fin be? Should it be green, orange, or should it be yellow? So whoever has the most, whatever color has the most votes, I will do that one, and Gabby will help me grab a piece of construction paper in that color. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, it looks like, oh man, okay, I have a tie between orange and yellow. One of you sneakily got in your last vote. So whoever can type the fastest, orange or yellow in the chat, I will use that color. So it's kind of a race. Oh, yellow, we have yellow.
And it is your favorite color, you know.
Awesome. I love you guys, whoever voted yellow. So what I'm going to show you next is how you're going to make your tail fin or the caudal fin. So you can make it any shape you want it to be. And for this one, I just made a very simple kind of wavy little tail. But for this one, I think I'm going to go a little bit simpler. So I like to start on this flat side, this edge of the paper, so it's nice and straight, so I have somewhere to tape the tail to the plate. And what I'm going to do is, I think, Gabby, I'm going to make a pointier tail this time. So I'm going to make a little bit of a line here and here, just so I have a little bit to stick to my plate. And then I'm going to go round like this. I'm going to make it pointy. And for some of you, this might look a little bit like a moon shape. Maybe, what moon shape does that look like, Gabby? What do you think? Maybe a crescent, Gabby says. Yep, it does kind of look like a crescent. So what I'm going to do after I've made this shape, and again, you can make any shape you want to. You can do a wavy tail, you can do a square tail, anything that you want for your own little pattern fish. And I am going to then do some cutting all the way around with my scissors so that I can get this awesome, awesome tail. Okay, and once I have this little tail cut out, it's going to look something like this. If you don't like the look of having markers on your tail, that's okay. You can maybe just flip it over and it can kind of be a little upside down tail. Whichever one that you like more. And I'm going to give you all another maybe 30 seconds to finish drawing that and coloring or cutting. And I saw that a lot of you were also super speedy putting in colors. Ryan and Clara, Ada and Timmy, all of you put in orange just a second too late. But that is completely okay because we'll have more colors to choose from next. So hopefully you're all on the same pace with me. And I'm just going to show you what to do next to add this tail to your plate. So I'm going to choose where I want to put it because nothing is on our plate yet. It doesn't matter where you start. So I'm just going to start over here. And it looks like maybe I want to put the tail right about there. So what I can do is I can hold it down and I can flip it over, knowing that I want to put my tail right here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hold it with my hand, just like this. I'm going to grab a small strip of tape. For those of you that are using glue, you'll just have to glue a little bit of the paper and then stick and squish it on. And I am going to use my tape to hold that piece of paper in place. Just like that. So this side will have no tape unless you want to put some. I usually don't just because I kind of like being able to flap it kind of like this, just like a fish, which is kind of a nice little fun thing to do. And it'll look something like this. So I'm just going to give you another couple seconds just to catch up there. And I will be with you again shortly once I make another poll just to check in with all of you. Okay, and hopefully you're all ready to keep on going. And if you just need a little bit more time, that's okay. Just go ahead and put that in the chat if you think you do. So we're going to do this top fin right here. And so let me just put that poll up for all of you because we're going to find out what color I should be doing the top or the dorsal fin on my fish. And again, you can do any color that you want, but I want all of your input, all your thoughts and ideas on what I should do for mine. So should it be pink, should it be blue, or should it be red? We're gonna find out shortly. Okay, let's see. Let's give you all another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, and that ends the voting. So it looks like a lot of you said blue, 6 of you said blue, and you all won. There was no tie this time. So we're going to make the top dorsal fin. We're going to make that blue. And Gabby's just going to grab that construction paper for me because she is the best helper out there. And so I have my piece of blue paper. You can use any color that you would like. I'm just going to do what all of you tell me to do today. And so for this top fin, on my first fish, I made it very, very wavy, kind of like this. And I'm going to show you all how to make this kind of fin because it can be a little bit hard unless you wanted to do kind of a triangle shape. So I will show you how to do that one and draw it. But I think for this fish, I'm going to make it a pointy dorsal fin or top fin because that's what the tail looks like. So I'll show you how to make the wavy one first. And again, I like to use this straight part of the paper so it's easier for me to cut and stick onto my paper plate. And to make a wavy fin, you're going to do a nice long curved line, just like that. And then depending on how many waves you want, you can add it. For me, I'm going to add 3. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to connect it to the bottom of my paper. So it kind of looks like maybe you went on a roller coaster ride partway through, and then we came back down to the ground, and you can relax again. So if you want a wavy fin, that is something that you can do. For this fish, I'm going to make it a pointy fin because that's what the tail looks like. So I'll show you how to make that one as well. Again, I'm going to start on the straight part of my paper. So it's easy for me to cut. And I'm going to do a nice long curved shape. And then I think I'm going to make spikes for this one. So spike 1, spike 2, spike 3. And then I'm going to connect it to my paper again. So this is what my fin's going to look like for this fish this time. And again, I'm just going to cut this out so that I can put it on my paper plate. And hopefully you're all somewhat on the same step with me, if not close. And don't worry, we'll give you lots of time to catch up, or we'll review steps to help you out if you are falling a little behind. So right now, I'm just going to cut out my piece of paper just so I can make the top dorsal fin of my fish. And Gabby, I have a question for you. If you were in Finding Dory, what character do you think you would be? Or Finding Nemo, for those of you that haven't seen Finding Dory.
I feel like I would be Nemo because I like his personality. He's very adventurous.
So Gabby thinks that she would be Nemo. I'm wondering what some of you think who I should be in Finding Nemo or Finding Dory. And I'll leave that up to you while I start the next step. Maybe give you another 30 seconds to cut that out. And I'll show you what we'll be doing next. I think Gabby has a poll ready for me. So let me just see if, are you on the same step as me? Have you finished cutting out your top dorsal fin and you're ready to put it on your plate? If you're one step behind me, maybe you're still cutting this out and drawing, or maybe you're still putting this tail on. And if you are putting the tail on still, I'll just repeat my steps where I cut out a shape for this tail that I wanted. I turned my plate over so I knew where I wanted to put it on the back. I taped it on, and you don't have to tape both sides because the nice thing about only taping one is we can flip it like this, just like a fish. So it looks like some of you are on the same step as me, and for those of you that are still behind, I'm just going to give you another 30 seconds to catch up with all of us. No need to rush. For those of you that are ready to go and are on the same step as me, I have a question for all of you that I was hoping you could answer in the chat or the Q&A, and it is, if you could go swimming in the ocean, what kind of animal, like sea animal, would you want to be? Do you want to be a shark? Do you want to be a dolphin? Do you want to be a big whale? Or a little fish? What animal or sea creature would you be if you were an animal in the ocean? I'm kind of curious. Gabby, what would you want to be? I know your favorite sea animal is a dolphin, but what do you think you would swim around as? Would you still be a dolphin?
No, I think I'll be an octopus because they can camouflage.
Ooh, octopus can camouflage. Leo says that they would happily be a dolphin, and I think that'd be lots and lots of fun. Ryan and Claire said a whale, and I'm wondering if you have a type of whale that you might want to be, because there's beluga whales, there's orca whales, there's a blue whale. William said that they would be a submarine, and I don't know if a submarine is a sea creature, William, but I'm wondering what Mary has to say. Okay, so whales are also very smart, so I'm just going to re-ask this question. Are you on the same step as me, just so that we can keep on going and get to that next step? And if you do just need a little bit more time, that's okay. I will make sure to repeat what to do, and Gabby will for sure help you in the chat or the Q&A if you have any questions. Alaire said a megalodon. Oh my goodness, is that what is a megalodon? Is that a dinosaur from a long time ago? I'm not too sure. You might have to tell me and let me know, because I am not an expert on all animals in the world. But Luna said they would happily be a dolphin, and Timmy said they would be a jellyfish, which I think is a very cool fish. So I'm going to get ready for the next step, because a lot of you are ready to move on. If you need a little more time, that's okay. I'll make sure to come back and repeat what to do just for you. So I have cut out my top fin. I know what I want now because I drew it out. For those of you that need a little more time, this was another example of a fin that you could draw and then cut out for the top. And so now that we know where the tail is, this isn't the top of the fish, this is the top of the fish, for me anyways. And so I know I'm gonna put my top fin just like that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flip my plate over, and I'm gonna flip this over as well so that I can tape it right where I want it. So for me, I'm gonna tape a little bit right here so it doesn't fall off. I'm gonna tape a little bit right here so it doesn't fall off. And hopefully my fin stays when I flip it back over. This is my top fin. This is my tail fin. And it looks like we're getting pretty close to what a fish would look like. Again, you can tape the top part if you would want to make sure it doesn't fall off. But I kind of like that. It's kind of like a fish and it flops a little bit. So I'm going to give you all another maybe 10, 15 seconds just to tape that on or to finish cutting or whatever step that you are on. And Alaire said, yep, a megalodon is a dinosaur. And if we have time at the end, maybe I'll look up a picture and see if we can share that with the group, because I think that's a really, really big dinosaur, if I'm right. Megalodon, oh my goodness, Gabby just showed me a picture, and you can stand, oh my goodness, that is a huge, huge, huge dinosaur. Alaire, I would be very scared to swim in an ocean where you were there as a megalodon. So hopefully you're all caught up to me. And if you are, that is perfect. Just to repeat, what we did was I chose where the top of my top fin was going to go on the top of my plate. I flipped it over and I just taped it on the back, just like this. And if you're using glue, again, you would just tape this side of the fin and stick it to your plate. Okay, so with that in mind, we now need to do the mouth, because how is our pattern fish going to eat without a mouth? So again, just another question for all of you. What color should the mouth be? Should it be blue? Should it be green? Or should it be pink? Guess we'll have to find out. So a lot of guesses right now. We'll have another, let's say, 10 seconds to answer. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh my goodness. You are all not going to believe me when I say that we are at a tie again. Another tie. Why do you all keep doing this? We shouldn't have any ties because you're all answering this for me. So our tie is between green and pink. So let's see if those of you that are my fast typers. Oh, looks like we have green. Okay, Leo, Timmy, you're both very, very speedy and you put in green right away. Ada, do not worry. We will probably use pink for one of the other fins, or we'll use it in our pattern, not to worry. So let me show you all how I would do the mouth for this fish. So for me, I kind of did this like blue little lip thing so that we kind of have a funny looking fish, kind of like a very round fish. So I'm gonna do that again. You don't need too much paper for the mouth, so maybe you want to use the same one from before, or if you have any scrap paper, you can do that. So this shape is very, very close to what you would do if you were drawing a heart. And so if you think it's easier to draw a heart and then just cut off the bottom of the heart, then you can go ahead and do that, but I'll show you what I usually do. So again, we're using that flat, straight part of the paper. I'm going to draw it just like maybe I would draw a heart. And you can either draw them both the same size, or you can draw one small, one big. So for this one, I did kind of the same size. And if you wanted to do it the heart way, you can just draw a little heart, and then you can just cut off the bottom when you're doing it, because we don't need that point. So this is the shape, and I'm going to cut that out because that is going to be the mouth of our very colorful fish. A yellow tail, a blue top fin, a green mouth, and then we're going to add patterns. Oh my goodness, it's going to look like a rainbow fish. And I don't know if many of you have read the book Rainbow Fish, but it's one of my favorite books when I was growing up. So maybe you've heard of it or you've read it before. So this is what the mouth of our fish looks like that we are going to attach just like this. And I'm just going to show you all what it would look like when we put it on. And I'm just going to give you all a little more time to catch up. So I'm going to put up another poll question is, are you on the same step as me, just like what we've done before, just so I can check in with all of you and make sure that we're all catching up to what I'm doing so far. And if you are on the same step as me and you're waiting, you can go ahead, if you know what to do next is to tape this on just like before, or you can put in the chat maybe. Gabby, what do you think would be a fun question this time?
Well, I would like to know, what is your favorite place in Calgary?
What is your favorite place in Calgary? Is it the Calgary Tower? Maybe did you like going to the Calgary Stampede if you've gone before? Or maybe it's the Bow River to go boating. We would love to know what you like to do. So some of you just need a little bit more time, and that's okay. For those of you that are on the same step as me, that is perfect. You are all speedy, quick, and experts. And for those of you that are just one step behind, I'm just going to repeat the top fin and the mouth for you to catch up. So for the top fin, what I did was I cut this out of blue paper for me, and I drew the top fin using some marker, using the flat, straight side of the paper for help. And I go all the way around. I did 1, 2, 3 roller coaster bumps, and then I would cut this out. And that's how we got the pointy one that's on our fish right now. And so since we glued the tail here, I think this is the top of my plate for our top fin. So I flipped my paper plate over, and I just taped my top fin on. If you have glue, you'll actually glue this side and then stick and squish it on so that we have something just like this. Then with the mouth, what I did was I took a piece of green paper because that is what you all voted for. I took some marker and I did kind of like a half heart shape, drawing 2 bumps like this. Another way to do it so that I can show you all is to just draw a heart, just like that. And then what I would do is I would cut this out all the way around. And then what I would do after that is I would cut off the bottom. And then that would get us to the step where we would need to attach it to the plate, just like we've done with the other parts of the fin. So I've cut out my heart shape, and then I'm just gonna cut off the bottom just like that so it's flat. And now I have something just like this one, but just like with a little heart shape. So I'm going to use this one that I used before. And it looks like a lot of you are answering for me what your favorite place was in Calgary. And we have the airport, we have Telus Spark, Stampede, Sate, Ryan and Clara. We love that answer. And Luna says she loves going to BC, and I love BC too. It's so pretty. I love going to Vancouver. And so hopefully I've given you all a little bit of time to catch up. And so I'm going to show you how to attach our mouth to our pattern fish so they can eat some yummy food. So my tail is on this side, so my mouth is going to be on this side of the plate. And I think it's going to go about here. So it's like in the middle of the plate, just on this side. So I'm going to flip it over, just like so. I'm going to take my paper, flip it over, and this is about halfway down the other side of the plate, and I'm going to stick it on with my tape, just like this. I could stick and squish for my tape, and when I flip it over, I have the start of our pattern fish. From here, I am going to use googly eyes to put down for one of my eyes on the fish, and if you don't have googly eyes, that's okay. You can just use your marker, and I'll show you what to do with that. You can use your marker and go right about here, so kind of in line with the mouth. And you can either just draw a black circle, you can do it cute little eye kind of like this, where it has a little bit of white, so it kind of looks like this on our pattern fish. If you don't have any googly eyes, that's okay. For those of you that do have googly eyes, just like me, I think I'm going to use one about this size. It's a little bit bigger than the other one. And what I'm going to do, because mine are actually stick-on googly eyes, is I'm going to stick that on, and hopefully that gives you all a little bit of time to catch up. So this is my googly eye right here. And for those of you that don't have googly eyes, again, you can just use some marker and color that on yourself. That is perfectly okay. But for me, I'm going to stick my googly eye right on top of that, give it a quick little squish, and we have something that looks like this, the start of our pattern fish with a floppy little tail, just like a fish. We have a top fin, and we have a mouth. And after that, we're going to make it really colorful. But in order to make it colorful, we need to know what patterns are. And I'm sure some of you are pattern experts already. But we are going to read a book called Pattern Fish. So I'm going to give you all that need a little bit more time, another 30 seconds to catch up while I change the camera angle so that we can read this book. And in the meantime, it'll give you a little bit more time to catch up. So for now, I'm just going to turn off my camera and microphone just so that I can set up. But in the meantime, if you want to ask any questions or if you want to chat in the chat with me and Gabby, then you are more than welcome to while you wait, or you can catch up with your pattern fish. And if you need a step repeated, just let me know and I will gladly do that. Okay, and I am back and I am ready to go, ready to read to you all this lovely book. So this is called Pattern Fish. It's done by Trudy Harris. And we're going to read this book just so that we know patterns. And if you've read it already, that's perfect. You're going to be an expert when I ask you all these questions. And if not, that's okay. So we're going to read this book quickly and then we're going to go back to our craft. And if you're still catching up, that's okay, because we'll just be reading a book for the next 5-10 minutes before we go back to our pattern fish, because we need to make them colorful, but we need to know how to make them colorful. So pattern fish. Okay, so it looks like we have our fish here. And let me just make sure that you can all see that. Maybe I'll zoom in a little more just for you all. Okay. Yellow, black, yellow, black. A fish swims in the ocean. It has stripes upon its back. Yellow, black, yellow, black, yellow. And this is where I need all of your help. Some of you are going to be experts at this already, which I love, but I'm going to ask you all, what is the next word in the pattern? Is it black, is it yellow, or do you think it's stripes? So it has stripes upon its back. Yellow, black, yellow, black, yellow. Give you all another 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. So let's see what color is next for our pattern fish. Okay, black. So we have yellow, black, yellow, black, yellow, black. Okay. I wonder what kind of sea creature this is. It looks maybe like an eel. Let's find out. Stripe, dot, dot, stripe, dot, dot. From a dark and rocky nook, an eel slips out to take a look. Stripe, dot, dot, stripe, dot, dot, stripe, dot. There's another poll question for all of you for the next word. And we see the pattern right up here on our little eel. We have a stripe, dot, dot, stripe, dot, dot. So let's find out what our next word is. This is quite the colorful eel, so maybe you can make this at home next, and you'll have an aquarium of lovely pattern fish, pattern eels, pattern sharks, pattern whales, pattern jellyfish. Oh my goodness, that'd be so many. Okay, let's see what the next word is. Dot. Oh my goodness, look at this eel's face. And looks so happy to say dot. Okay, we have a seahorse that's next. I wonder if it's magic. I know sometimes a lot of people think seahorses have magic. So chomp, chomp, munch, munch. Chomp, chomp, munch, munch. A seahorse underneath the sea eats seaweed for its lunch. I don't know, everyone. I don't think I would want to eat seaweed for lunch today. Chomp, chomp, munch, munch. Chomp, chomp, munch, munch. Chomp, chomp, munch. What's the next word? So we have this lovely seahorse here that's eating some food. And I'm wondering, while you're all answering that, in the chat, what other patterns do you see on this page? Maybe it's the top of the border here. Maybe it's the pattern on our seahorse. Maybe it's the pattern right here with the fish swimming by. Maybe in the chat, I'll give you all 10 seconds to help me out and tell me, what other patterns do you see on this page besides a chomp, munch, chomp, chomp, munch, munch? We had William and Mary said blue, blue, yellow, yellow. That's right. So on the seahorse, we have blue, blue, yellow, yellow, blue, blue, yellow, yellow. Lucas said the rocks. That's right, Lucas. I didn't even think about the rocks. But we have small, small, big, big, small, small, big, big, small, small, big, big rocks. Perfect. Ryan and Claire said the seaweed. Oh my goodness, in all capital letters. So I had to say that. Really, really excited. So the seaweed, we actually have two patterns in the seaweed. We have short, short, long, long, short, short, long, long, but we also have green, green, yellow, yellow, green, green, yellow, yellow. Leo said small, small, big, big bubbles. That's right. The bubbles right here. Small, small, big, big, small, small, big, big. Perfect. You're all amazing experts at finding patterns. And it looks like a lot of you munch. Yep. Munch looks like the next word. And it looks like the seahorse might have taken some munches out of this word from us. Ooh, and Timmy, you're right. Pink, pink, yellow, yellow lines at the top of the page on that one. So we have another pattern fish here. If you want to type in what other patterns you see, that's perfect. I will continue reading in the meantime. Bubble, bubble, pop. Bubble, bubble, pop. A pufferfish blows bubbles. They go floating to the top. Bubble, bubble, pop. Bubble, bubble, pop. Bubble, bubble. Gabby will put up that poll while you're all also typing. We have Timmy saying star, star, circle. That's right. On the fish, we have star, star, circle. Star, star, circle. Okay, so it looks like you're all answering, which is amazing. And let's see what the next word is. Pop. Perfect. I'm wondering if you at home, I won't be able to hear you, but I'm wondering if you can make a pop sound. So pop, or maybe you can do it with your lips where it's like, maybe you can make a pop sound at home just for this book. Okay, so it looks like we have an octopus now. And this one looks like it's sticking out its tongue, so that one's not very nice. Okay, so stretch, spurt, glide. Stretch, spurt, glide. On an underwater ride, an octopus is slowly going. Stretch, spurt, glide. Stretch, spurt, glide. Stretch, spurt. And what do you think the next one is? Ryan and Clara said, pop, 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 just for this. Perfect. I love it. I hope you all said that as well, because that is a long pop. And while you're all answering that, what other patterns do you see on this page? So maybe it's our octopus, maybe it's the top of our page, maybe it's the little fish. It might be a little hard to see. So Timmy said red, green, yellow. That's right. So at the top of our page and at the bottom of the page, we have a border that goes red, green, yellow. Red, green, yellow. That also kind of reminds me of our traffic lights for when we go driving. Okay, so that's the end of that poll. We also have, let's see, what is the word? Glide. And oh my goodness, it stretches all the way from this side all the way over here for a nice glide. That octopus looks quite happy. Okay. Wiggle, jiggle, jiggle, float. Wiggle, jiggle, jiggle, float. Wiggly, jiggly, jellyfish. Wiggle, jiggle, jiggle, float. Wiggle, jiggle, jiggle, float. Wiggle, jiggle, jiggle. And what's our next word? And if all of you can, what other pattern do you see on this page? So maybe it's the top, maybe it's our bird, maybe it's our jellyfish, maybe it's these weird worms that apparently we have at the bottom of our book. So let's see. A lot of you are saying the next word should be float. I'm going to give you all maybe 10 seconds to answer. Leo said the birds. That's right. So we have white, brown, 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 white, brown, brown, brown. But we also have a different flying pattern. So we have, I don't know how to say, I guess it would be glide, flap, flap, look down. Glide, flap, flap, look down. All right. So let's get on to the next page, shall we? Oops, small, small, big worms. That's red over there. We have big, small, small, medium. The worms, and Leo said the sun. Oh, that's right. I didn't even look at the sun, Leo. It has the ray pattern. So it's like a wiggly, dash, straight, wiggly, wiggly, dash, straight, wiggly, wiggly, dash, straight. I didn't even see that one. Oh my goodness. You're all experts. This is kind of like I Spy. And you're all right. The next word is float. The jellyfish looks like it's quite relaxed this summer. Okay, so this page is splash, turn, swish, dive. Splash, turn, swish, dive. In the dark, a giant shark moves in murky water with a splash, turn, swish, dive. Splash, turn, swish, dive. Splash, turn, swish. Shark? Shark? Shark! Oh my goodness, that looks like a giant shark with giant teeth. Yellow, black, stripe, dot, dot, stripe, dot, dot. Chomp, chomp, munch, munch. Bubble, bubble, pop. Stretch, spurt, glide. Wiggle, jiggle, jiggle, float. Oh man, it looks like all the fish are swimming away. Hey, where did everybody go? Oh well. Splash, turn, swish, dive. Splash, turn, swish, dive. Splash, turn, swish, dive. Okay, so that was our book. And I'm just going to review what these patterns were. And then we're going to color in our own pattern fish so it can be colorful just like this. So I'm sure that all of you are pattern experts because honestly, you were all answering all those so quickly. So we're just going to review different types of patterns. So what we have is we have an A, B pattern. So that means we have A, B, A, B. So in this case, it's orange, blue, orange, blue. We have an A, B pattern, which is blue, blue, purple, blue, blue, purple. We have an A, B, B pattern, which is green, pink, pink, green, pink, pink. And then we have an ABC pattern, and that has 3 different things repeating. So in this one, it's like a diamond, square, hexagon. And a hexagon has 6 sides, and diamond, square, hexagon. So we have 4 different patterns that we can use to color in our amazing pattern fish. And so with that in mind, I hope you all enjoyed that story. But now we get to make our pattern fish the colorful fish that they get to be in our aquariums. And so I'm going to start with my fish right here. And all of you, maybe you started coloring already, maybe not. And hopefully we're all ready to go. So let me just make sure. I'm going to do the same question as before. Are you on the same step as me? Have you managed to catch up with your pattern fish that we're going to color in? And I'm just going to give you all a couple seconds to answer this. And I'm going to take a quick drink of water because it's very, very hot and it's good to stay hydrated. Okay. So it looks like a lot of you are on the same step as me, which is perfect. If you are a step behind and you need a little help, just let us know in the chat or Q&A, and me and Gabby will be happy to help you or repeat something. And so with that, we are going to get started. And so we are going to, someone wants to type speedy quick what color I should start with. I know before I said I would use pink because pink was also very close, but it didn't quite go there. So Ada, yep, perfect. Ada typed pink. I know orange was our other color that tied. So I'm going to use pink and orange to start. Ryan and Claire, we are happy to help you. You're a step ahead of me oh my goodness, you're all speedy quick, and experts. Maybe you should be here teaching everyone else instead of me, and then I get to color along. So I am going to start with an A-B pattern. So that means I'm just going to use two things. So Gabby, what shape should I use?
Oh, heart shapes.
Heart shapes? Okay. So I'm going to start up here with my hearts, and I'm going to go all the way around this. And so for me, I would start with an orange heart, just like this, and I would color it in on my plate. You can use pencil crayons, you can use markers, you can even cut stuff out using your construction paper and glue that on instead. So I'm going to use my pink next. And so for all of my smarty pants out there, what color would my next heart be for an A-B pattern? Would it be a pink heart or would it be an orange heart? Can you tell me what I should do next? Okay,
correct.
Perfect, Ada. We are doing an orange heart next. And for me, I will probably only do part of my pattern so that I can keep going and show you all how to keep coloring. But for me, I will keep coloring alongside all of you. And if you want to keep telling me what colors I should be doing next, that would be wonderful. Or you can keep coloring yourself because you have a pattern fish to make colorful as well. And maybe if you have time, you can make different sea animals. Like I know a lot of you said whales and sharks and dolphins and all those amazing things. So for me, I'm going to do hearts all the way around the top, just like this for Gabby because she wanted hearts. And I'm going to do that. And so this would be my pattern that I'm going all. So for me, I might go all the way around like I did for this one. The pattern I did before was blue, orange, blue, orange. So that's an A-B pattern that goes all the way around. And so Luna said I should use red next, which I would happily do. And if someone else in the chat wanted to type what other color I should use, I would appreciate the input because this is a pattern fish we're all making together today. Go ahead.
Vesper said golden.
Golden?
I don't think we have golden, but maybe yellow.
Vesper, would yellow be okay? If you can type that in the chat or the Q&A, that would be very helpful for me. And so if yellow is okay, I will use yellow. And if someone wanted to tell me one more color, that would be absolutely great. And if not, I will choose one myself. And we shall see. I'll give everyone 5 seconds if you wanted to type that in. 5, 4, 3. Gray. Okay. Leo said gray. And luckily, I have gray. Okay. So I think I'm going to do an ABC pattern next because I have 3 different things. And Gabby, how do you feel about circles?
Yes, I love circles.
Okay. So I'm going to start with my gray one. And what I think I'm going to do this time is I'm going to go from here, from the eye, all the way straight across. And I'm going to do a bunch of circles. So maybe I'll start with a small circle. Or a medium-sized circle, just like that, using my gray. I'll use my yellow one next in the middle. So that'll be kind of golden, just for Vesper. And then we'll have my red one next. And this is my ABC pattern. Because it'd be gray, yellow, red. And if someone wants to tell me what my next 3 colors in what order I should be doing them in, that'd be helpful. Because I'm not too sure if I'm doing this ABC pattern right. What should I do next? Is it yellow? Is it red? Is it gray? There are so many different colors that you're all experts at making patterns. And hopefully your pattern fish is going perfectly fine at home. A lot of you are saying that I should do gray next, which is perfect. And I am just going to make sure that we're all doing well. And mostly what we're going to be doing now is we're going to be coloring our pattern fish with colorful patterns so that you can have it at home and it can swim around, so to speak. And maybe you can make it a friend or two. But I know a lot of you are doing this at home with one of your siblings, so maybe a brother or sister or a friend. And so they'll luckily have some friends to swim around with. So I'm just going to do this color pattern all the way around to the other side of my plate, just like this. And I have one more color, which is what, Gabby?
It's red.
Perfect. Alrighty. So this is my ABC pattern with all these different colors. We had our hearts up at the top. We have a line of dots going all the way that way. And we're at 11:54. So we're running out of time, for me anyways. But I hope all of your pattern fish are going really well, because mine ended up looking like this. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to see how you're all doing at home coloring in your pattern fish. Do I need to slow down? Am I going too fast? I just want to know if I should wait until 12 o'clock to show you how to do this side fin, or if you're ready to at least see that, and then you can add it after you're done coloring. Okay. So it looks like you're all adding your patterns, which is perfect. I'm going to keep coloring just while I see that. I think I'm going to use green and I'm going to use blue while I do one more pattern for those of you still coloring and coloring at home. And then I'll show you how to do the side fin that you can add later once you're done coloring everything. So I'm going to do a pattern that goes this way now. And I think I'm going to use squiggly marks. So I'm going to do my green, I'm going to do squiggle this way, squiggle this way, and this is going to be an AAB pattern. So I have 2 green squiggly marks and then 1 blue squiggly mark. Green, green, blue, green, green, blue. I hope all of your pattern fish are going perfectly fine. And I'm sure all of them are going to look absolutely amazing. Me and Gabby would love to see pictures of them so that we can put them on our Facebook page for everyone else to see. And what you can do is you can email those to summer.camps@sate.ca, and me and Gabby would love to see it. She just put that in the chat for all of you. And then we can put your pattern fish on our Facebook page if you wanted to see that. And you can ask your parents if you can see what that looks like. And so I'm almost done with my bottom pattern here with AAB for a green, green, blue squiggly marks. And after that is done, what I will probably do is I will show you how to do the side fin, and then you can add that on your own time when you're done coloring your fish. Okay, so this is my pattern fish so far with the help of all of you. We chose a yellow tail, we chose a green top fin, we chose a blue top fin, sorry, and a green mouth. And then we had hearts at the top in an ABAB pattern from orange, pink, orange, pink. And then we had an ABC pattern going all the way across, going gray, yellow, red, gray, yellow, red. And then I did a AAB pattern with green, green, blue, green, green, blue. And that's kind of this fish. I ended up doing a lot of ABAB patterns is what I did. So I did orange, blue, orange, blue, orange. I did red, yellow, yellow, small square, big square, small square, big square. So on this pattern fish that I made first, it's all ABAB patterns, but you can do anything that you want to do at home. And then I will show you just how to make this side fin right here once you're done coloring at home. So it's okay if you're still coloring, there's lots of time, and no need to worry if you have any other questions, because this is a really easy part of just putting a fin on the side of your fish. So what I'm going to do is I think, Gabby, what color should I use for this? Maybe a pink?
Yes, I love pink.
Okay, can you grab me a piece of pink construction paper? Perfect, thank you. So I'm going to use pink, and I'm just going to show you all how to do the side fin. And you don't have to add it right now. You can add it after you're done coloring and putting in all your patterns on your amazing pattern fish. But I'm just going to show you how, and it's very simple. It's just like the fins we did before. So we have our straight part right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this a pointy fin, just like everything else. So I'm going to start here. Pointy, pointy, and then I'm going to connect it at the bottom. This is going to be a much smaller fin than the rest. And Timmy, I see your hand is up. Do you have a question for us, or would you like to say something? If you do, can you put that in the chat or in the Q&A? Just because sadly we can't see or talk to you. And so I am going to cut this out. And so I'm sure a lot of you are still coloring. and that's completely okay. I just want to make sure that you know what you can do after you're done coloring. And you can take all the time you need after to finish your coloring and adding in your beautiful patterns to your colorful pattern fish. And I'm sure they're going to all look amazing because you've helped me make my pattern fish I'm making with all of you look amazing with all of your votes and your suggestions. So what I did was I traced out a smaller fin on the straight side of my paper, just like this. It'll be just like a smaller fin that we did for our tail or the top fin. And instead of taping this to the side of our plate, we're just going to tape this right in the middle, right here, just like this. And you can glue that if you want to, or you can tape it. For me, when I tape it, I don't want to put tape right here on our plate to see. So what I'm going to do is I just make a loop. So what I do is I take my finger and put it in the middle of the tape. I then move one side up and I stick the other side to it to make a little loop just like this. But for some of you, it'll just be easier to use glue or just to tape it to the side right here. And I'm going to put this loop of tape underneath my fin. And then I'm going to stick it on. And then when I do that, it kind of looks like it's popping out of the fish a little. So then it looks like it'll be a little more swimmy-like. So I'm just going to check in with all of you. It is 12 o'clock. I'm going to see if any of you need me to repeat that step. If you need to leave, then you are more than welcome to. I hope you had lots and lots of fun today. Gabby and I will stay around for another 5 minutes to answer any questions. If you wanted to finish coloring and then have me repeat this last step. And again, we would love it if you could send in pictures of your pattern fish because I don't know. I think I have 2 of my pattern fish, but I'd love to see what all of you have made. And then maybe we can make a collage and it'll be like an aquarium of pattern fish from our SATE online sessions because I think that'd be really, really cool. And so with that in mind, I know if you're done or if you're ready to go, then you are more than welcome to leave. And me and Gabby hope you had lots and lots of fun today, and we hope to see you on our next session. And then if you do need the step repeated, you can stay and I'll repeat it. If you wanted to stay and you're done your pattern fish and you just wanted to chat with me and Gabby, ask us questions, then you are more than welcome to. But again, you can leave, and we hope you had lots and lots of fun. So I do know some of you wanted me to repeat this last step right here with this fin, and I will happily do that. So I'm going to use my color pink right here, and I'm going to use the straight side of my paper, just like we've done with all of our other fins. And I'm going to make mine a pointy fin. So I'm going to do that curved line just like this again. I'm going to do 3 points, kind of like mountains. So 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to connect that last one to the bottom of my page. After that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it out. And you can do any shape that you want for this side or pectoral fin. And that's what they call it. But you can do any shape that you want. You can do any color that you want because your fish is going to be pretty and it's going to look awesome because you made it and you've made it look pretty cool. So I'm just going to cut that all the way out of my paper, just like that. And once I'm done cutting, I'm going to have it shaped just like this. So I have that flat side that I had when I cut it out originally from the paper. And I have all these little points that I drew in. And so once you're done coloring, you don't have to add it yet. You're going to put it in the middle of our pattern fish that we've made. So it's going to go right here. And if you have a glue stick, you can just glue this side right here and stick it on. If you have tape, you can tape the side of it right here like this. Or with an adult's help, or if you think you can do it, you can make a little loop of tape just like this. So it's just folding the 2 edges to stick together. And then I like to put it underneath, just like that. And then I stick it to the middle of our pattern fish. And it kind of looks like the fin is coming off of our fish. And it looks like it could just swim away. So I see that Ryan and Clara asked us, what is your favorite Disney character? Gabby said that hers is Moana. and that mine is Mulan, which is right. I love the movie Mulan. And I think if I had to choose, I would love to be her because she is so cool. Gabby loves Moana, and I think both of us love listening to Disney music. So hopefully if we have camp next summer and you see us, Gabby and I will be singing along to Disney. And Ryan and Claire, I hope that you sing along with us. But this was our last step right here, where we cut out a little fin using some paper. And then all we did was stick it to our plate. And you can just stick it on the side with some tape, use some glue, whatever you need to put that in the middle. So we're at about 12:05 right now. So if any of you need to leave, and that is perfectly okay, we hope you had lots and lots of fun. And this was the pattern fish that we made with all of your help today. We had the yellow tail, we had the blue top fin, we had a green mouth, and then we had the pink fin, and then we had all these different patterns thanks to all of you. So again, we hope you had lots and lots of fun. We hope you have a great rest of the day. And if any of you have any last questions, Gabby and I will stay for another minute. But other than that, we'd love it if you could send in pictures to summer.camps@state.ca so Gabby and I can see it and make a collage, so a bunch of pictures all together, and call it our pattern fish aquarium. And so we hope you had lots of fun, and we'll see you all soon. Bye bye.